Bengals absolutely destroyed the Steelers. No, listen, we beat the Steelers, right? Which essentially means that we're like in the playoffs, right? I didn't miss anything, right? No, because think about it. Like last time they scored like 45 on us. This time they scored what, like 17 or something? That means that we're the greatest and we're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it also means that why did they score 45 on you last time?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that losing to the Patriots on the first game cost the Patriots the first pick of the draft and the Bengals a playoff spot?
You see, like that was just a bad game for everybody. You know what? Everyone loves quoting that.
And it ruined everyone's parlays because everyone had
I knew we were going to lose that. By the way, I knew we were going to lose that game. Everyone loves bringing up the Patriots game as the game that cost us this season, but it was not. It was the 5 other games that were freaking like last minute decision. Although there was a what was it? Was it Drew Sample? One of the tight ends in that Patriots game. So Mike Gesicki caught a touchdown that got called back, which should have been a touchdown, which is how we ended up losing, because the next play they fumbled it and it was a turnover and it was a scoreless drive and we lost by 6 points. Damn. So, it hasn't been in our favor, but listen, it's like, we dug our grave. We didn't make it. We did it. We're on the team, by the way. I am on the team and I did not make it.
Even the last game depressed me because we were like winning. We should have had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But instead we had Cade York. By the way, Bengals have still not lost since Cade York joined the team.
It's true.
Also, still have not lost since we started this podcast.
No.
So we're just going to continue this.
No, you said you just texted me that we have to do the episode because it's taboo and that we need to make sure the Bengals win, and they did. But so technically you're correct, but the rest just did not align. The Dolphins lost, and I knew they were going to lose. But the Chiefs, it was almost like they didn't even try. They were just. It's like they were messing with us. 38-0.
I believe the conspiracy 100%.
It's not a conspiracy.
They had no desire. They had no desire to have the Bengals in the playoffs. It's not like they tanked. They just didn't care to put their full effort or didn't care to have their best players on at all.
They want to laugh and pretend oh, we're not scared of them. We just didn't rest our starters. Shut your mouth. You 100% did not want those. You did not want that team in the playoffs.
I will say though, if you could lose by that much just on your backup starters, the Chiefs are really
a bad team. They're not. They're not a good team. Not a good team.
I disagree with your Super Bowl. Let's go. I'm jumping there already because you posted a thing.
Should we pull up my picks real quick? Okay. I mean, we could. Yeah. What do you disagree with? And then I'll show. I made an entire playoff prediction.
I think the Ravens will make the Super Bowl.
You think the Ravens are winning the Super Bowl? Are making the Super Bowl?
I don't think the Bills will.
I did not say the Bills were making it. That was our father. He said the Bills are making the Super Bowl.
Wait. So what did you post?
I said the Chiefs are making the Super Bowl.
Wait. So our father posted that?
Yes, he said the Bills right after I posted a whole playoff picture with this whole thing. Maybe I'll put it up on screen right here with some ballsy predictions. Some are obvious, some are very upset worthy. I do think that it is going to be Chiefs, Eagles. I think that the Eagles upset the Lions. Right. I think the Eagles upset the Lions. Not even an upset. They beat them the first game of the year, right? And they might be peaking towards the right time. While the Lions, the Lions are playing amazing. I just think that the Eagles are somehow going to do it. I think Jared Goff is going to choke, as he has done on big stages before. And I think the Chiefs are going to win again. They're going to win the Super Bowl, which I hate to say it, but listen, no. It goes back to my theory before, which is if the Bengals aren't in the playoffs, the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. They are. I hope the Lions do it or whatever, but that was my prediction. I think it's a Super Bowl rematch with the Eagles. Whatever.
I don't
think the Bills do it. I do not think they do it. I think the same thing happens. I think Patrick Mahomes does the same thing he does every year, and he just turns into a different breed. That's what I think. It's going to happen. And I don't think Lamar makes it past the divisional. I don't think he does. I think it's the same thing. I think this playoff picture is going to be the exact. You listen here.
Sorry.
I think this playoff picture in the AFC is going to be essentially the exact situation as last year. Yeah. The Ravens, the Bills. The Bills looking strong. The Chiefs are going to they're just going to make their way through. There might be a couple questionable flags, but they're going to win the Super Bowl. And I hate to say that as a Bengals fan, but they're gonna win the Super Bowl again. They're gonna 3-peat, and it's disgusting.
Just looking at your chart.
Yeah.
Just looking at your chart. It's hard. I didn't really think about it too long, but there's a chance that the Steelers beat the Ravens just because well, they both do terrible in playoffs, but divisional round they're playing for the third time. It's possible the Steelers win, but
I don't like the momentum that the Steelers have.
Yeah, that's the
going
issue.
into it,
So therefore,
and the lack of I just don't see it happening.
Let's say the Ravens win. If the Ravens win, and I'm assuming Buffalo is going to win, I think Buffalo Ravens. I think the Ravens win. So then I think it's going to be Kansas City Ravens, and then
rematch.
I don't think Kansas City could beat the Ravens. That's why I think they're going to.
But they did last year, and it was an even worse team.
Correct. It's a different year. I don't think they're as deep. The Ravens are extremely deep.
The Ravens were not as deep as they were last year. Their defense was much better last year.
Still, I don't think. I think and then I think it'll be Ravens Eagles or Ravens Lions.
You don't get it though yet, because you're wrong, right? You have to understand this.
It's going to be like Washington. It's going to freaking be Washington or something.
I think the Commanders get upset by the Buccaneers. That was on my prediction.
Yeah, probably.
But I just don't see the Ravens. If they do it, great. But I just don't see Lamar plus a worse defense. They had a historical defense last year. They should have made the Super Bowl and probably should have won it all. And they did not. And I don't see it. I just don't see it happening.
No, but Derrick Henry is just so good.
It's true. He's very good.
He's so good.
But the Chiefs' defense is next level.
Because
right? They beat them earlier this year.
Lamar makes a lot of mistakes in the playoffs, like trying to stick the ball over the goal line and get whacked by Sam Hubbard.
No, that was not him. That was Tyler Huntley. You casual. You absolute casual. Yes, yeah, he wasn't playing in that game. But we love trash talking.
The reason Lamar hasn't played well, but this year they could give it to the running backs. They should have won the Super Bowl.
Lamar played amazing last year, even though he was an overblown MVP or whatever. He was making great decisions and he wasn't running as much. He ran more this year.
No, but they can always give it to Derrick Henry now. It's a great fallback. They should have won 3 years ago, I think, or 4 at this point, when they had it was one of Lamar's first seasons, and they had
his unanimous MVP one thing.
Yeah, and he had 2 great running backs. And they kept talking about they're going to win. I forgot what's her name. Shoot. Ingram? Was that who it was?
I don't. Dobbs?
Anyways, but they got tossed like the first, second round. It was like super. They were like depressed.
It happens every time. I was really hoping that it'd be the Bills this time, right? Like this year. Like every year I'm like, ooh, the Bills looking good. Like they're like unstoppable looking. They could get through. I'm not falling for the same trap again. Every single time,
I will say
they lose. They lost to the Bengals not last time, 2 times ago. Chiefs. I just don't see it happening.
Selfishly,
yeah.
I don't want the Bills or the Lions to win before the Bengals.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they need to be poverty, but after us.
Yes,
we have to finish our poverty.
We do it, and then they could later.
Mm-hmm.
Then they can fight out later. Although Bills Lions Super Bowl would be amazing.
It would be beautiful and everyone would be happy, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see either of them making it. Like, it's upsetting to say, but the Chiefs are 3-peating with a terrible team that's 15-2, really 16-1. They're gonna, I don't think they're letting the Bills beat them again if they get through, and I just don't see them beating the Chiefs. Joe Burrow's not in the playoffs, so the Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. I hate it. But I wanted to discuss, unless you have something else to say.
No, we're going to discuss all the firings.
I wanted to discuss right after this, that terrible blowout with the Chiefs, the Bengals out of the playoffs. I wake up today with so many firings in the Bengals organization. They got rid of
for at least 15 years.
They got rid of the defensive line coach. They got rid of the offensive line coach, which they should have gotten rid of 2 years ago. Should have got rid of him, and they also got rid of Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator.
And the
linebacker coach. Massive mistake. They should not have gotten rid of Lou Anarumo. It was not his fault. It is not his fault that his new players suck at tackling and miss tackles, and that the defensive line is playing like crap, so safeties and quarterbacks have no help and are just constantly getting thrown at every single play. Like,
all
that's
the talking
not
heads
his
would be like,
fault.
it all starts at the top, though. It does start at the top, and he had an amazing defense for years and has the key to success against the Chiefs. The Bengals are going to hire, hopefully, Robert Saleh would be like the only good
As defensive
replacement.
coordinator, yes, that'd be great.
But whoever we hire, what's going to happen is we're going to be 16-1, and then we're going to make the playoffs and lose to the Chiefs because we just don't have that secret sauce. If you're going to fire him, I would keep him on as something else.
Lou Anarumo has the sauce. That's what you're about to say, right?
Yes.
He has the sauce. He has like the script, the cheat code, or the specific code that beats Patrick Mahomes. Only he has that. It happens every time that we play him. He always keeps it close. And yeah, I see what you mean. Like, I feel like we turn into like sort of the Bills with a different defensive coordinator, which is like an amazing team, but not one that gets us over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a little scared.
It gets me nervous. But they had to fire fire him or fire Zac Taylor. So they said, well, Joe Burrow apparently said, I don't know if he actually said today, but they basically said the relationship is strong. It's good. We like him, and also our offense was really great this year. There's no reason to fire him. I mean, not Joe Burrow said it, but the organization basically were saying that we had a great offense this year. So we can't fire the head coach.
Second half of the year. And you know what? Burrow was worse in the first part of the year because of his hand or whatever and getting back into it. But he should have had them ready more.
Wait, 1 sec.
Okay, sorry.
So basically, you have to have a scapegoat. So you take away the defensive guy. So it's either or. So Zac Taylor's on the hot seat for next year. Okay, fine. I actually think he's more replaceable, by the way. I think Zac Taylor is way more replaceable.
Yes.
Either demote him to just the play caller, which I wouldn't be so against, and bring in a new head coach on top of him who's better at decision making. And like you said when we were talking earlier, like wasting random timeouts in like the second quarter.
like the first half of the season, his play calling was terrible, but he always fixes it up. And I think next year he'll be more locked in, hopefully, to like be more aggressive in the beginning of the season. But besides that, like, he just wastes timeouts. Every game, he's just terrible clock management and terrible late game management in the last 2 minutes. So many games have been cost because of him. We should have lost that Broncos game, right? The Steelers game was lucky also.
So you have to have
the other ones we lost. Like, yeah, he should be like offensive coordinator, maybe, and we should hire a new head coach because he's not good in clutch situations, and he's just never has the team ready during the game. Timeouts being wasted, yeah.
Although I will respond. Basically, we have this our parents' friend, a huge Bengals enthusiast, and he was saying that he liked Lou until the 4th and 16 call, which I think was against the Chiefs. With
the last play of the game with the pass interference, right?
Yeah, with the PI. And he was saying that he did the same thing that he did the other AFC Championship games, which is you rush 3 and you let the safeties do the work. And this time, and this year, in the game that we should have won, right, and made the playoffs, there's a PI and we lost because we gave Patrick Mahomes a little bit too much time. Meaning it worked like 2-3 years ago, but it didn't work this year. And I get it, meaning he's losing his touch and he's not mixing it up. Which I get it, but we had a terrible defensive line coach. We had a terrible defensive line. It was way different.
Terrible safeties in the AFC Championship. Same thing happened. It turned into a pick, right?
Correct.
That's what happens because we had good corners and safeties.
And we had other people on the defensive line who were getting to Patrick Mahomes, which means there's less time. Like, you can't blame him for having the same play calling, which should have worked. We should have won that game besides the PI. It did work. It was unfortunate. So you're going to blame him? You're going to say that it would have worked. It should have worked. Like, I just don't see the negativity against him. It's just too hard. We had a terrible defense.
He's getting scapegoated.
Is it just the rookies? Is it just the developers are doing a bad job? It's not like he has bad schemes.
It's the lack of the defensive line. Sam Hubbard, nowhere to be found. Where the hell was he this entire year? Nowhere. He was nowhere. Trey Hendrickson, great sacker, not good against the run. Very not good against the run. So, like, you have that going on, and sorry?
You have to get, like, a tackle coach.
I'm saying you got, like, that, and then you have these rookie corners and safeties that are, like, still developing here, and, like, you don't know if they're good or not. Like, yeah, like, that's going to happen, and I just hate that they fired Lou Anarumo because he's taking all of the blame, and I feel like it's going to come back to bite us. I remember last year or a year and a half ago, we were praising this man, and we were like, please, he was going to be a head coach somewhere else. And we're like, you know what? We're going to have you here. We're going to, he's like, we're going to stay one more year. Like, he was the guy. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, because terrible defense, therefore now he's like the schmo that's like getting fired. It makes zero sense.
You know what's going to happen though? The Bills are going to lose to the Chiefs in the championship round,
right?
And then they're going to fire the defensive coordinator because it'll be like a defense issue. They're going to hire Lou immediately because they know he has the secret sauce, and the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl next year. They'll be pissed off.
Here you go. I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's a great prediction.
Yep. Unless or the Bills have Lou, they beat the Chiefs in like the divisional round or something, and then we play the Bills. And we beat the Bills because
we know Lou. Exactly. Yeah. Who did you predict was winning the Super Bowl this year?
I haven't got.
You haven't done a full-on prediction.
No, if I.
Who do you want? Because I want the Lions to win, but I think the Chiefs are winning.
Like emotionally, probably the Eagles. I don't really care. Like, all right, let the Eagles win.
I want the Eagles.
No, because they're a good team.
I would want the Buccaneers, like if I wanted an underdog, honestly, if I wanted an underdog, I'd choose the Buccaneers because they're actually a good underdog. They can do it. You never know.
Because I'm very like a hateful guy. So it's like if the Lions win, I'm mad because the Lions won before us. If the Bills win, I'm mad. The Chiefs, Chiefs can't have.
So if they win another one, like it's just okay.
Yeah. Steelers or Ravens, obviously we can't have another AFC North team winning. I guess the Chargers could win. I wouldn't really care. I mean, but it's also like it's always like the AFC.
Chargers are I actually predicted that the Chargers are going to beat the Texans and finally win a playoff game. In which case they will then
most likely.
Yeah, in which case they will then lose to the Chiefs in the divisional.
But who do I think is going to win? Actually, the problem is it's always hard to read because I always say that when you rest like people who rest starters, I always feel like
lose
they
momentum,
come off sluggish.
Except the Chiefs.
Except for the Chiefs. So I think honestly, if I'm being honest, I think it'll be Chiefs, Eagles, and I think the Eagles will do it this time.
You're just gonna steal my Chiefs-Eagles prediction? Were you not earlier this game thinking the Lions?
No, I just feel like Buffalo might be a little banged up. Actually, they're playing the Broncos, but the Broncos might give them a hard time, and the Chiefs will just be ready to go. Yeah. And then they'll make it to the question is if they'll beat the Ravens. That's really the question. And
you said the Ravens were going to make. You said the Ravens. You said it was going to be Ravens Lions or something, and now here you are saying the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. So freaking lock it in right now. Like now's the moment. Like I meticulously written right.
I never second guessed Ravens Lions, and Ravens are winning the Super Bowl.
And are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Ravens, they said that same thing last year.
I don't care if the Ravens win the Super Bowl too much because they've won it before, and I already had my annoyance.
No, I hate it. I can't have Lamar being like, even though he's technically better than Burrow because of the MVPs, like I can't have him having the ring.
They'll crown him. They'll keep giving him MVPs.
No, I can't have that. I can't have him getting a ring before Burrow.
Gonna be I don't mind if Joe Burrow turns into Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers.
With one
as
ring.
long as we get one. As long as we get one.
Yep, that's all I need. All I need is one. But have we covered everything?
I think so.
I think we're good. Appreciate.
Yeah, the Reds signed. The Reds signed.
The Reds.
The Reds. We're on to the next.
On to the next.
Well, we did trade for Galvin Lux, I think is his name.
I don't know who that is. I'm very Reds casual. Yet he's like, oh, we should talk about the Reds. I'm like, I just don't know.
He's a shortstop. He's an infielder. Well, I think he moves around. He's an infielder for he was on the Dodgers, and he's pretty good. He's okay. Somebody said he's like Kyle Pitts. It's like. He's going
to be good this year. You should draft him in fantasy.
He's going to be good. Yeah. Uh-huh. So that's kind of the idea. But he's a bigger name player. So the Reds are trying to. Because we actually see. Here's the thing. The Reds actually have what's his name as the manager.
Oh yeah, we got the new manager on the Reds. You see, Bengals listen to the Reds. They know how they fired a dude.
And he's great. He's never. I think he's always brought the team to the playoffs the year he was hired or something like that.
ESPN stat right there.
Yeah, so
beautiful.
Reds are winning the World Series. Then
Reds are winning the Super Bowl. No, the Reds are winning the Super Bowl yet.
Then the Bengals are.
Yeah,
Reds are winning the World Series. Bengals are winning the Super Bowl a few months later, and we're all gonna be Cincinnati happy.
That was supposed to be this year. Next.
I know.
Yeah. I know. Next year.
Turns out we just had to fire people.
Yeah. But I appreciate you all for watching, guys. Like literally, we're gonna keep this going. We'll do this like we'll keep the show updated. You know, there's gonna be stuff happening. But appreciate you all for watching.
But we refuse to do it in monotone.
What does it even mean?
Every other Bengals Never, I'm not gonna speak.
We're literally smash like, subscribe, goodbye.